And this brings us now to the final part of today's Ask Me Anything session, the Q&A. And this is now your part, so you can ask any question you have to Roshni, to Timo, or to Esperanza and myself. We also have some mentors online, so if you have a specific question to some challenges, there could be also opportunity that you could get a direct response from the mentors and the persons or the people who proposed the challenge itself. I just share my screen and to see if we already have some questions already on Slido. So again, slido.com and then enter the hashtag ESoC, and then you can ask your question. And yeah, then I would start with the first on top. The first question is, how much time one should spend a day to work in a coding phase? It is full time or it is up to me, and main goal is to get working project at the end. I probably say like a comment from us ESoC itself, but then probably also Timo and Roshni can shortly say how much time they spend on the ESoC project, and then you probably get a better idea. So from the ESoC perspective, we don't give any guidelines that you say that you have to at least, I don't know, part-time or 80% be involved in this project. It is really up to you in how you want to work with the project, and if you say that you can meet the deadlines or the deliverables and the milestones as you agreed with your mentors while only working during weekends or part-time or during night, this is really up to you, and we don't set any specific time or hour estimations. I don't know, Roshni and Timo, would you like to give your experience?
Hey, yeah, sure. So for me, I think I worked full-time for most of it, except for the first month where I also had another project running. So that's also the same question I asked last year, whether that was all right. So as long as you plan it and you make sure you can reach your deliverables, I think that worked really well for me. Roshni?
So for DeepJeff, we were a team of 3, and it was very well distributed among the 3 of us. So I think the load on individual people was a bit less. We were all working on it part-time. And the load also varied like throughout the 4 months. Towards the beginning, it was a little more involved, and since we were working very closely with the data, but once the initial prototype was in phase, we just spent like as much time as we had and how much the goals needed, that's all.
Thank you, Roshni and Timo. And I think this answers your question. So it's really depending on the project and also on you, how much time you have, and also how much time you need in order to meet the project or your proposal you submitted. Then the next question is, what is the level of experience in machine learning you require for a challenge, such as challenge number 21, machine learning to improve CAM's global air quality forecasts? I think Johannes and Mia are online. Would you like to give a short response to this question?
Yes, I can give a short response. So thank you for the question. I think we expect sort of some expertise in machine learning, but what is important for us is really that it's about the application. So it's about a forecast, and I think great care should be given to the validation of your approach. So we don't want to have any overfitting. We want to make sure that the machine learning approach really helps us in the prediction of air quality forecasting. So application of machine learning, I think, is what we want. I don't know whether Miha wants to add something at this point.
No, I think that's fine. Yeah.
Yes, and for this, if I just jump to the next question, which is also about number 21. So we are very pleased that people are interested in this challenge, of course, so thank you. As I said, it's about air quality forecasting. So what we want to see is basic metrics like the bias, RMSE, but also maybe that would be then a second step, that the forecast of specific high pollution events is improved. So it would be then forecasting of the higher percentiles in the distribution. But it should be very standard kind of metrics, what we want to see, and we can discuss this further either in the preparation or once we decide what we want to do to be more specific about the metrics, but nothing too fancy. But think about it as a forecasting application.
Thank you, Johannes. For now, I think there's another question related to your challenge, but we can then also come back because there are quite a few questions, and I just ask you later on again to switch on your microphone. Okay, the next question is, how is Dementors' involvement in the project code development? And yeah, like this is really also depending on each project, because in the end you will form a team. Oh, sorry, this question here, I just think this is here. You form a team during these 4 months, and we have different setups of each team. So as Timo said, like yeah, the team worked like and met every 2 weeks on a regular basis in order to discuss progress and some specific challenges or problems. Other teams, for example, last week, Milan was saying that for them it worked better to be more asynchronous. So they worked a lot via Slack and didn't have so many face-to-face meetings. So in the end, the mentors, they are involved in the projects, but not really in the code development. It is more on guiding you and helping you with some challenges specifically you have for, I don't know, ECMWF specifics or data. So it's really depending on your challenge and your problem. But not like heavy support with really also code development, but of course reviewing code and guiding you for the individual next steps and if challenges arise. I hope this helps to the question, or this responds to the question. Yeah, so the next question is the age of the team making the proposal a criterion take into account for selection? No, so there is basically you have to be 18 in order to be eligible to apply and be part of ECMWF Summer of Weather Code. But other than that, it is no factor at all. So because ESoC is really about your skills, and also we really aim for high quality projects. And also this is what I want to say is also we're really interested in your results, because many of the previous ESoC projects are now integrated into ECMWF work operations and teams. And so there's really also an interest from ECMWF and the mentors to have a feasible and good outcome. And so if you have, so we had, I think 2 years ago, we had a high school student who just turned 18, but who had the necessary skills for the specific challenge. And so age is no criteria at all. So it's just, it is really the skills you have and the proposal you submit. So there's one question, I could really help if I can review some draft example proposals of earlier challenges. It is the first time for me drafting such proposals. This is more like a proposal or for us, and I will take it into account, and I think we can share, like not like the real proposals from teams, but like an example outline where you can see like, yeah, how you could that can help you to structure your proposal. So I think this is what we can do, and we will then link it on GitHub on the main challenges page, and we probably also notify you on the issues if this is helpful. But again, what I already said at the beginning, really be short in your descriptions, and aim for no longer than, yeah, four pages or 6 pages. So it's not about the length, it's really about being short, concise, and precise in what you propose. But we will share a example outline which helps you. Then for the challenge 22, where the proxy data should come from, open access database, or are there specific database to look for? I have to look for challenge number 22. I think the mentor today is not online. So this is basically a really good question for GitHub. So if you have this question, I really recommend you to go on GitHub and post this question to GitHub, and then the mentors will pick it up and respond to it. So unfortunately, the mentors are not here today, but go to GitHub and respond and ask this question, and you will get your response. Okay. Okay, the next question is, when your team members are in different time zones, which can be difficult to manage, so is it just up to me and my team members how we can work and manage? I think Roshni already said it. So they also had a team which were in 3 different time zones. It is really up to you and your team members to organize you. Probably Roshni, I don't know, would you like to say some sentences about how you organized yourself and what helped you maybe to work across different time zones?
Sure, yeah. So I think it was actually quite productive that 3 of us were working round the clock, basically. And we distributed the tasks so that there's no overlapping sections. It was also very useful that we had one person who would be the point of contact between our mentors and the team, so that everybody would always be on the same page and there was just no confusion, only one person communicating. We also we decided on one time and set up a recurring meeting every 2 weeks to meet with the mentors. So it wasn't a problem to try to find a common time every single time. So yeah, it was not a challenge for us, and I don't think it should be very difficult to manage.
Thank you, Roshni. And okay, good. Then we go to the next question. In challenge number 23, we have the skilled team, but not any EU citizen. Can ECMWF help us with this? So yeah, so there are on GitHub, if you browse through the challenges, you see some challenges, specific terms and conditions are applied. And this is related to challenges related to Copernicus. And and at the moment, yes, so any challenge which is funded by Copernicus, it is only eligible for EU citizens. You could, so there in the end, it would be also eligible if, for example, only one team member is an EU citizen. So this could be also one workaround. And we will give you also some updates regarding this on GitHub and on some specific on the challenges itself in the next weeks. But this could be one solution in order for you to also apply. Okay. Then there's a question: will the licenses of codes developed be transferred to ECMWF? So in the terms and conditions, you also see a one paragraph related. So the code you develop is basically, it is your intellectual property, and you will have the license. But for any code you develop, you also grant an unlimited license to ECMWF. So this means you still own it, but you give rights to ECMWF to be able to use it. This is the licensing agreement for ECMWF Sum of Better Code. But I refer you to go to our website, and then the terms and conditions, and there you see a specific paragraph regarding the licenses. Okay, now Johannes, it's your turn again. There's another question regarding the challenge 21. Can one assume that the data is representative for the corresponding area?
Okay, that's a good question. I'm not 100% sure whether this refers, though the data refers to the observations or to the model, but the representativeness is definitely something which needs to be considered. So our thinking at the moment is that you will develop a correction formula, so to say, for each individual station, and then the correction from the model forecast to this corrected forecast at the station could correct any errors with respect to representativeness of this particular station. I'm not sure whether I was clear enough, but we can discuss this in more detail. But getting the representativeness right is part of the challenge.
Thank you, Johannes. And then we go on to the next question. How the mentors and experts of ECMWF will guide the project? Will they meet every other week to make sure the progress of the project? So I think this is similar to some questions we already responded to. So important for ESoC is really that ECMWF and Copernicus, we also have an interest in your development and in the project. So because the reason why we propose these challenges, that there is a need from ECMWF and Copernicus to have these developments and these projects. And so, of course, also the mentors and ECMWF experts, they have the interest to see how the project is evolving, and also to support you if there are any challenges. And from the last years, and as Timo and Roshni also were saying, that probably you will also meet like at the beginning more often, because this is also the phase where you form the team, where you get to know the mentors, and the mentors get to know you. And then within the 4 months, you will, like, a system that works for your mentors and for you as a team will evolve. And I think this is the most important thing. So there's nothing put in stone that you will meet every week and you have to deliver progress reports. But at the same time, at the beginning, you define together with your mentors the deliverables and the milestones of the project, just because it helps you and also the mentors to follow up, and also to address any challenges if any challenges are coming up, and also to make sure that you will come to the result you actually aiming for. And so it's really depending on the team and you also yourself, how you work best together. Okay. Then the next question, is it possible for the same team to submit 2 projects for 2 different challenges? Yes, there is no limit to submit more than 1 proposal for different challenges. At the same time, we think that, or the experience from other years is also, it's usually better if you focus on 1 challenge, and you really then start also engaging on GitHub, asking questions, and you focus on 1 challenge and try to make 1 proposal tailored and good for one challenge. But of course, it is up to you. If you think you have the capacity and also the skills to submit 2 projects for 2 different challenges, then you're more than welcome to do so. Okay, then the next question. Since 10 projects will be selected, it means that not all the challenges will be covered. Exactly. So we have 13 challenges, and up to 10 projects will be selected. And in the end, we also match the pool of proposals we get, because sometimes we get many proposals for one specific challenge and no proposal for another challenge. But this gives us the flexibility also to see which proposals we fund. For example, last year there was also the case that we had 2 very good proposals for one challenge, and then we funded, or we invited these 2 teams working on the same challenge, but with a slightly different focus and scope of the challenge. So this could be also an option, and this gives us in the end a flexibility to really evaluate the entire pool of the proposals we receive. But in the end, up to 10 projects will be part of ECMWF Summer Further Code. Okay, the next question is a question for Climate Lab. I'm not sure if Eddie is still online. He was some minutes ago, but if he's online, it would be good maybe if you can respond to it. There are 3 tasks listed in the GitHub issue. What would the mentors like to see in the proposal? Eddie, are you still online? Probably not. It doesn't.
Got the wrong Eddie.
Yes. Okay.
I am Eddie, but you need the other Eddie who started recently. I'm the Eddie from the CDS.
Okay. Yes. Sorry. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. So then this is basically also a question for GitHub. So please go there and ask the same question. Also on GitHub, and then you will get your response. Okay. And there's also Climate Lab Part 2, one covering all 3 tasks, or maybe 2 out of 3. Exactly. The person who asked this, please go to GitHub and ask the same question you ask here also on GitHub, and then you will get your response. And I think this is also the same. The same applies also for the next question. Would you like to see which team member is going to work on what part? Exactly. The same response, go to GitHub and ask the question, and then you get really your response you need. And then we have a question. Will we have access to complete ECMWF datasets, for example, ERA5 datasets? So deep learning models need big datasets, and downloading via CDS API takes a long time. So this is basically, also depending on the project, which you will discuss with your mentors at the beginning. There are some options. So we are also aware some projects need to be able to work with large volumes of data, and also need specific processing tasks at processing facilities. And this is why we also give some options to have access to cloud credits on Wikio or on the European Weather Cloud. And these are then questions on really what you will discuss with your mentors right at the beginning, how to make the data best accessible, and in what way, and what is actually the best option for you to work on your challenge. So this is something, if you are selected to work on the challenge and you need access to large volumes of data, then the mentors will discuss it with you how to tackle this problem best. And then we have one final question. Can team members write a research paper based on the code developed during the ESoC? Do we need to take permission from ECMWF for this? This is basically, I think, it is encouraged, because in the end, yes, if it is a nice research outcome, then ECMWF is also a research organization, and your mentors probably also would be much in favor to help you in writing the paper. And this, I wouldn't say that you need permission from ECMWF, but I think this is something really nice to discuss also with your mentors together, because the mentors are then also mostly interested in actually working together on this paper and publishing the research results. And we have currently some research papers are currently in development from last year's ESoC team. So I think this is a very nice opportunity also to team up with your mentors and work on this together. Okay, I think on Slido we don't have any question left. Ruben, do we have any questions on Zoom?
Not in the chat and not in the Q&A chat, so we should be done for today.
Okay, good. So then, yes, thank you so much all for joining today and also showing interest in ECMWF Summer of Weather Code. As I said, for now, I really invite you to go to GitHub and ask any questions you have on the challenges, because this really helps you to tailor your proposals. And then we're looking forward to your proposals. A reminder, the deadline for proposal submissions is the 16th of April, 2021. And thank you again for joining today. And I wish you a nice evening, day, morning, and afternoon. And goodbye.